I got a comment from John Thompson on my last video about making breakfast pies, about why don't I do a recipe for the first time in front of you all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I thought, that's a good idea. I had found a recipe called BLT Linguini, and that's what I'm doing today. If you hear a little bit of hissing in the background, that's my pasta water warming up. That's what it's supposed to look like. We'll see how close I come to that. For this you need 5 strips of bacon chopped up. I have 5 here, but they're thick ones because I like to have a little bit more bacon than they call for. 12 ounces of linguine. I did not have linguine, so I'm using a thick and hearty spaghetti. 4 cups of packed spinach, baby spinach. 3 Roma tomatoes cut up into 1/2 inch pieces. That's about 2 cups. These are tomatoes I rescued from my garden before the frost. 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, and 1/3 cup parmesan. I think that's about 1/4. I'm not a real big fan of parmesan. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cook the pasta and brown the bacon. When I brown the bacon, I am going to save the drippings. When I boil the pasta, I'm going to save, let's see how much it is. I'm looking at the directions. 1/4 cup of the water. The pasta water is starchy, and when you put it on, the sauce hangs on to the pasta more. I'm going to boil my pasta, and I'm going to cook up my bacon. Well, I've cooked the pasta. I saved 1/4 cup of the pasta water, and I cooked my bacon. Do not drain the grease from that pan because you want to have several tablespoons for the next step. I cut up my tomatoes. I used my Tommy Toes from the garden. It's an heirloom tomato that is one of my very, very favorites. So there's 2 cups of those. So let me move over to the stove. Now I'm going to have to be staring at my recipe some. Now the amount of grease that was left in this pan from the bacon was not much, and I need a couple tablespoons. This is where you get your, well, I don't know if you do this, you save bacon fat. My mom used to have a tin can on the counter that any leftover bacon fat went in, and she used it in cooking. Maybe a little more because that bacon was very lean. Now I'm going to let this warm up a bit, and then I'm going to add the spinach, tomatoes, and garlic, and cook it till it's just heated, 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, that's good. So in goes the spinach, the tomatoes, and the garlic. So I'm going to do this about a minute or 2. You want to do this until the spinach is wilting, and I still have a few pieces that need to wilt, so we're well within the time frame. And remember, you're doing this in some of the leftover bacon fat. I say it's good. So now we add everything else. There goes the bacon bits. Whoops, that's my timer. The bacon bits, salt and pepper, the linguine, and the parmesan. And this is pretty much done. You're supposed to toss to combine, so I'm going to get this out too. Then, when this is pretty well combined, I'm going to be adding in that pasta water. There. A little bit at a time. That smells so good. I already made a boo-boo, John. I was supposed to add the parmesan on the table to add last. This is done. This is supposed to feed 4. I suppose if you had a salad along with it and some garlic bread or something it would, but I don't know that just this alone would feed 4. But it smells so good, and the bacon's in there, and we got the L and the T. Oh my. The B, the L, and the T. Oh my. Give this one a try. I'm going to have this for supper. BLT linguini. And you can use a hearty spaghetti too. Until next time, you never know what I'm going to do. Bye-bye.